friends, welcome to Joyful Noise Living. I'm excited to share with you what I used with my third grader this year. Hey guys, I'm so glad you're back. I love to talk about curriculum. I think curriculum videos are my favorite ones to do. So it's that time of year where people are shopping around for the next curriculum they need to use. And oh boy, do I love shopping for curriculum. The only problem is you can't buy all of them. Darn it. But I do love to share what I have used this year, and I'm glad I'm doing this video now because I originally planned on doing it back at the beginning of the school year, but now I can share it with after we have used these things, and I can tell you how it went and what I actually think about it. So this is what I used for third grade for the 2019-2020 school year. All right, let's start with math. Math was on top of the pile, so we'll start with math. I love both of these resources. Like, they just make me happy. We have Masterbooks is what we use. We really enjoy Masterbooks, and for my daughter, she is definitely a hands-on learner and thinker. Some of the other curriculums I've seen were just a bit overwhelming for her. And what I like about this one is it breaks it up into tiny chunks. You have day 1 lesson, you have day 2 lesson, day 3, day 4, day 5, and then the week is done. And that's it. And the lessons are not very long, they're fairly short. Math Lessons for Living Education is what it's called. And they like to say that they're Charlotte Mason based. I don't know if they're exactly fully Charlotte Mason, just because they have stories in them, but they are simple and short lessons, which that is Charlotte Mason. So she finished her level 3 book in the fall, and then in the winter time we did start our level 4. The cool thing about Masterbooks and Math Lessons for Living Education is that you don't have to go by grade. They have grade suggestions, but really just as a reminder to all of us is that you need to go by the level that your child's at and not necessarily worry about the number of grade that they are. And in level 4, they reviewed a bunch of multiplication towards the beginning, and then they have moved into some measurement practices, and then it gets into long division, and now she's just finishing with that and moving into some fractions. So yay for fractions. The other thing that I use to supplement her math with is musical multiplication by The Good and the Beautiful. This is so fun. Some of them are a tad bit cheesy, but you know what? We love music in this house, and if I can sing about math, then I'm a happy camper. But they have, basically, they give you these cute little books with pictures, and then they sing a song that goes along with the picture that helps your child memorize what the multiplication facts is. These are fun. They've helped her a whole lot because she was struggling in that for a while, and she's finally getting it. Oh, there are 4 sets, and she just finished set C. She'll be moving into set D, and then we'll be all set to go. The one thing I don't like about this is that they have broken them up, or they've spread out the facts. So they start with 3 times 3 is 9. They go to 6 times 6. Then they go to 5 times 3. There's not necessarily an order to it. They may have had a reason for the order, and I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I would have preferred it for it to be 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4, etc. So it's all mixed up, but either way, she's still learning them, and it's going pretty well. There are a few other curriculums that I use for my third grader from The Good and the Beautiful. One of them is handwriting. We have used handwriting the last 2 years from The Good and the Beautiful, and I've enjoyed it so far. One thing I really like about it, I think this is the new level. So she has level 4 this year, and it is the teaching of the writing in cursive. And they make it super simple. It's not a very long lesson, and then they get to draw something at the end, which if you knew my daughter, you would know that that fits her really well. So that is why I stuck with this curriculum, was because it's giving her an incentive as she works on her letters. She gets to draw something afterwards. So isn't that cute? Cute, cute. So lots of cute drawings on this. So really, I have no complaints about the handwriting curriculum. She just does a page or 2 if she wants. I think handwriting is very important for kiddos, even though we're in such a technology-driven society now, but I'm still happy to let her work on her cursive handwriting. The other Good and the Beautiful curriculum that we use for her is the language arts book. I do modify it a teeny bit. There's some lessons I think that she doesn't necessarily need, that some of it was North America geography, which we did last year. So we got to just skip right over that because she had just learned that. Let me explain.
You're saying geography? I thought this was a language arts curriculum.
Well, let me talk to you about that. In their language arts, they include writing, spelling, phonics, which is in reading, grammar, and geography. Oh, poetry. Poetry is the other one. I almost forgot. And even art appreciation as well. In level 2, it's only art appreciation. They don't actually do any art yet, but they look at very, very beautiful pictures. For example, look how beautiful it is. So the good and the beautiful includes that, and it includes some geography lessons. And there's really not a lot of geography. It is mixed in between all the other grammar and spelling lessons. So let me explain how this works. You'll have a lesson on a phonics phoneme, so it'll be like O and I is oil. And then after that, you will have a lesson on art appreciation. And then after that, you'll have a lesson on poetry. And then it will go back to O and I. And then it will come back to geography. And then, so it may sound a little scattered, but if you go just one lesson at a time, by the time you get to the end of the book, you will have covered so many things. So she started level 2 last fall, so she's almost done. We're probably gonna go into the summer just to finish it, but I'm really pleased with the Good and the Beautiful level 2. The one thing that I have done a little bit differently for the Good and the Beautiful language arts is the reading assignments. So there was one reading assignment where I really liked the book suggestions they gave, so we did read them. I did have her read those and we talked about them, and it was a really neat lesson. But other than that, I've had her choose the kind of books that she wants to read. So some of the books that they were asking were a different level than what she is, so I went ahead and had her pick a different book. I've been really, really flexible with that and not necessarily feeling like I have to do exactly what their curriculum says. I do love their suggestions for sure. All right, hang in with me there, guys. You're doing a great job. I've got 2 more things I want to share with you. And I want to say that I do pick a lot of things and I kind of bounce around sometimes, but I want you to know that you don't have to do that. If you see something you like here, pick it up and try it. Just know that there's not going to be a perfect curriculum. You can research and research for a long, long time and still not know exactly what's going to work for you or for your child. But I want to encourage you that you need to just pick something. Pick something that you think is the best fit for your kiddo and try it. And the worst thing that happens is it doesn't work very well. The cool thing is it's not the end of the world, and make it work for you. Because the thing is that I've learned, it's not the curriculum that works. It's the magic of being all together in the home and learning together and discussing these things and adapting them to your child. And you, mama, you are the one who knows your child best. Nobody else knows. The curriculum writers don't know your kid. The people on the internet don't know your kid. Your neighbor down the street does not know your child. You know your child and you know what they need. So trust yourself, mama, and you're going to pick the right thing for your kids. One of the things I also added for language arts this year was a Brave Writer arrow guide. But what I did was I did 2 arrow guides this year. We did The Door in the Wall, and we just finished The Tale of Despero. And I'm one of those fancy people that doesn't have a colored printer, so I just print it off and it looks like this. Just a bunch of papers. It's super simple. They have a quote from the book. You read it to the kids and then they copy it in their notebook. And each of my kids have their own notebooks to copy these sentences in. And then when you go over the sentence, you go over things like spellings and the meanings of some of the words. You also teach things about dialogue, lots of other little things. I think really anyone could do them in their home. And it was really such a great book to read. So I loved the arrow guide, and I do recommend if you have a 3rd grader in your home or older, then arrow guides would be great. But if you have kids who are younger than 3rd grade, then I would hold off and wait until you have at least 1 3rd grader. And then the last thing I added from Brave Writer was the writing project. Partnership in Writing is an incredible resource. It's huge, it has a lot to offer, but I purchased it when it was on sale from Brave Writer at one time, and I picked out the writing lessons and projects that I wanted to do with my 3rd grader, and oh, it was so incredible. We had a really great time doing each of the projects. We still have a few more to do. We haven't finished all of them, and I might continue a few into the summer. So, for example, one of the things we did was a mini homonym book where she wrote a word that sounded the same but was a different spelling and different meaning on 2 pages, and then she drew pictures for each of them. totally something she loved to do. And she was learning the meaning of homonyms at the same time. Another project we did was a mini research project, and we did it together, and we wrote on note cards. She did some of the writing and I did some of the writing. So that's why it's a partnership. So we were working on those projects together. Okay, and last but definitely not least, I wanted to share what we did in Bible, but I'm gonna have you watch the end of the video for my first grader curriculum, and I talked about it in there. But we did do Bible this year all together as a family with all 3 of my kiddos. All right, that brings me to the end. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about anything I mentioned, please list them in the comments below. I am happy to interact with you down there. And be sure to check out all my other curriculum videos. I do have a free resource in the comments below. If you can find it, check it out. So have a great day, guys, and I'll see you next time. Yeah, this one's my favorite picture in the whole book.